Hello, YouTube. It is time. It is time. He has arrived, or will be arriven, shortly after, I guess this video is posted. It's going up the day before. It's Spoot with Fort Visitor Gaming talking about our main man, Orlandeau, coming to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions. He is the Sword Saint from Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. Widely considered one of the most broken characters in the game, for good reason. He learns all of the sword arts that you need. Nightblade. Oh god, which ones? Nightblade, Stasis Blade, all of them. Good god, he learns all of them. Duskblade. So we're going to go over him, and then I've got a second video for Ramza coming out as far as a should you pull. Now, the answer to this question has a couple of edges, so I'm going to deal with those first before we really stick down on this guy's stats. He is a limited unit. It is a limited banner. He is on his own banner, separate from Ramza. You can technically pull him on the paid Ramza banner. He does actually have a presence there. The downside being is War of the Visions does not have good rates, and generally shards are used, or gems are used for shards. Both of these characters are going to be expensive, especially considering if you're not going to at least LB3 him by the time the event's over in 2 weeks, it may not necessarily be a good plan to pull unless you've got a significant amount of resources saved up. Like on average, people are saying it's anywhere from 60 to 80k to pull him. Some people have just yanked him straight off the rip. I've seen people on JP pull him and Ramza in the same paid pull. So, like, is it possible? Yes. Are the odds with you? No. No. So I'm not going to tell you that it's an amazing plan. I, personally, and you shouldn't listen to me, except that you're listening to me right now, I am going balls deep on Sid. I'm probably not going to whale it, but by Wednesday, I should have about 14 to 20,000 shards. Am I dumping all of them into Sid's banner and hoping for the best? Yes. Am I going to get Sid? Probably not. Worst case scenario, I end up with some dupes. Best case scenario, I end up with, Frederica or somebody I don't have. So, should you pull if you're a free-to-play player? It's really up to you. I would say that generally this is worth re-rolling for, so if you're comfortable for it and you're not really too attached to your account as is, don't be afraid to re-roll for this guy. Because even if you get him and one other UR out of the entire thing, you're still pretty well. He stays good for a very, very long time, indefinitely as of yet. He's a very strong, high DPS hybrid character. Ramza has a bit of a different use with the evade meta, but we can go over that in his particular video. If you're whaling, I ain't gonna tell you how to live your life. You gotta do what you gotta do. You spend that money, you do it, buddy. You got this. Our buddy Jake from that one guy Jake has literally already said he's getting both of them, period. There was not a I'm pulling for both of them. He said, I am getting both of them, quote unquote. So I think he's streaming that on Wednesday, so we'll make sure to keep you updated, because that's going to be a giant salt pile. So the too long didn't read. He's an amazing unit. He has a very high DPS output over 2 turns. His kit is very, very useful with different kinds of damage for different kinds of uses. Should you pull for him? I will 100% leave that up to you. If you're free to play, feel free to re-roll. If you're whaling, you do you. Good luck is all I can say. So let's go in and talk about Orlandeau, TG Sid, that Sid from Final Fantasy Tactics. This man broke. So we are on the Gamia FFBE World of Visions wiki, just so you know, like normal. Like, these units aren't out, so I can't really show you their max. But we'll go over his abilities and kind of what to expect of him. So he is a lightning type, so if you went balls deep on Frederica, I'm sorry. Job 1 is Sword Saint, Job 2 is Samurai, Job 3 is Knight. His Trust Esther Remord is the Raiden Mantle. It is an accessory. It creates a barrier that decreases the amount of damage taken. It has 360 HP attached to it, 5 speed, 8 defense. Not too bad. I would imagine that it's just auto barrier. I don't remember. I haven't really looked into what it does in JP, but it's pretty strong. His limit burst is... Do they even have the name? They do not. Well, poop. All I know is it's wild. I think it's lightning stab, but I don't really know because it doesn't have the name. But it looks like lightning stab from the game. So it deals large damage to targets within an area. It is a 2 square from the center cross, and it puts haste on himself for 3 turns. It costs 58 AP, which is insanely expensive. The range height and the area height's only 1, so it's not something you're going to be able to crack from halfway across the map like Medina's or some of the gunners, but if you get people in any amount of combination in that cross, it is going to murder things. His master ability is slashing attack plus 10, defense plus 5. There's a big deal here because there aren't that many things that increases flat slashing attack. There are some math arguments that say that that is better than flat attack percentages across the board. There are places on the subreddit you can kind of look at the math and figure that out. I'm not going to go into niche numbers. Like, are they important? Yes. Do you care? I don't know. That's up to you. The defense bonus is also good because very rarely do you get defense on a character outside of Golem or maybe some pieces of equipment. Stat-wise, these are all job levels, or these are all job max, and his level maxed at 99. Attack's pretty high, 281. Magic is okay. Speed is okay. Range and jump are about what you would expect. He's got 3 move, which means he's going to get out there and actually get running a little bit. His AP's high, so you could cast his limit break twice at max. His TP is pretty decent. His HP is in the 2000s, which is kind of what you expect from higher DPS. A little lower than tanks, but a little higher than regular. He's got a lot of dex, so his general agi should be pretty good. Stats on the ability board across the rate pretty good. He's got a decent critical rate up. He gets plus 12 and plus 2 defense. So plus 12 to crit rate, plus 2 to defense. These are pretty good. Sword Saint is his main job. As you can see, pretty much all of these are versions from the game. So Black Lion's Crest is, he increases his own attack, negates blind, paralysis, and sleep for 3 turns, which is very good for negating otherwise debilitating debuffs. Armor Crush, you reduce the defensive target for 3 turns, deal small damage. Duskblade steals TP, so it reduces the target's TP and restores that amount of TP for yourself, so it allows you to have more abilities at the ready. Thunder God is... He increases attack significantly and decreases resistances to all attack types for self. So that's part of your combo, so you activate that on 1 turn and then you crack them on the 2nd turn, usually with Divine Ruination. But it can be different things. DR is very strong, but there are different ways to get around. War Sense is very good. It gives you an extra jump and it increases your max HP. Definitely good. His blue abilities on is decent. Auto Refresh gives you AP when you take damage, so not too terrible. Samurai abilities are as you should expect. Blade Soul Meditation. Third Eye increases evasion for 3 turns when you take damage. That's not terrible. Most of these abilities you aren't going to be really crazy on, with the exception of, I don't know, maybe the green and blue abilities. Like, there are some usable Samurai abilities, but they're not crazy. Knight is a little more utility. You can deal more damage and still break. You can use Disable, you can lower their attack, you can Magic Break them, Speed Break them, etc. This also gives you Sword Guard at 6-star, which is really good. It's flat damage reduction when you take damage, so it's not like a specific kind. Pretty decent overall. It also gives you a max HP green, which is relatively strong. Divine Healing is always something that is like, it's usable, but you don't always know that it's going to be the best. A lot of people usually just double down on Sword Saint for him, but Sword Saint Knight is very usable. Some people say Samurai has some uses. I'm not 100% sure on that, so take that as you will. So here's the downside. He has 25% resistance to slashing, flat against pierce and striking. He has a 25% negative to magic attack, and he has a 10% negative defense to ranged piercing, so bullets, archers. So is he going to be great against the inevitable Frederica Lucia meta? Not so much. He's good, but he's not quite up to snuff on that. He's still really strong. His resistances are regular. He has 20% against water attacks, minus 10 against earth. That's just the elemental wheel. That's how it goes. He has 50% resistance to poison, 10% resistance to petrify. He has a 50% resistance to disable. So any move that'll tack on disable, which enables you to not, or disables your attacks, he actually has a base resistance to, which is pretty good. Awakenings are exactly the same as for everybody else. You're looking at the regular amount of souls versus every character. Limit break's the same thing. It's, what, 600 total? So 200, 200, 200, yeah, so it's 600 total for getting them. That's pretty much it. The big concern about him is that at higher levels, so his mid-range DPS, LB3, you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 8k DPS, depending on your abilities and your equipments. And then your high-end DPS can spike up to 10k over 2 turns. This is a lot. It's definitely more than a lot of classes we are dealing with now. So his ability to take a turn to buff up and then take his second turn to just nuke something is very powerful, especially when you're just taking units off the board. PvP, he's not as useful in the range meta just because he can get nuked down relatively quickly. So building him is very utility. Overall, he is one of the best units in the game. Like, they have him at S rank for a very solid reason. This man is insanely powerful. And look at that. Ugh, God, his animations look good. So that's it for our boy Sid. So he is coming out on Wednesday, April... what day is it? 22nd, so on update. Good luck. He's going to be rather insane. So, you know, leave me a comment, a like, tell me if you're looking forward to him or if you're skipping him. Like I said, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I personally am going as far as deep down this rabbit hole as I can without spending a ton of money, which may not be very deep. And if I end up not getting him, it's okay, because you shouldn't feel bad about not getting a character regardless of how good they are. It's a gotcha. The numbers are against you. So keep up with it. I'll have a Ramza video coming out either with this one or later today. So we'll go over him as well and talk about some of the future proofing you can do. So like, subscribe, give us a holler, and don't get miserable.